What's up, y'all? As anticipated, Whittaker's next fight will be against Marvin Vettori. This is a pretty good fight. I don't think it'll be fight of the night, but I think this fight will get some people watching, and it's an interesting fight. On one hand, you have Marvin Vettori. He's a very, very good wrestler. Pretty good boxing on the feet, so he can hang on the feet with most people. He's very tough. He's hard to finish. Adesanya could not exactly put him away. Well, I'm not saying he couldn't, but he probably didn't. Just chose not to. He's preferred to toy with him in the 5th round. Obviously, the 4th, 5th round when he grabbed his arse. And then you have Robert Whittaker on the other side, who's also lost to Adesanya, but on 2 occasions. Obviously, his fight was more competitive than Vettori's. You have to get the grappling edge and the wrestling edge clearly to Vettori. Marvin Vettori can win this fight if he takes Robert Whittaker to the ground and lays some good punches and elbows and manages to control the positioning of this fight. I don't think he's going to dominate Robert Whittaker, but anything's possible. Robert Whittaker needs to do the opposite. He needs to keep this fight on the feet, maybe land a few takedowns of his own from the clinch, like sweeping people with his legs. He needs to do some of that. He needs to get the better of the stand-up because Vettori's, he's not elite on the feet, but the thing is, Robert Whittaker is not Israel Adesanya on the feet either. So he's going to have a harder time standing up with Vettori than Izzy did. So he's going to have to use his distance with his kicks. He's going to have to use some good jab, footwork, and move, stick him and move. The same approach Adesanya uses against most of his opponents to outsmart them and outclass them on the feet, because Vettori's going to stand in front of him if they do have to stand and land some good shots on the feet, decent shots. I don't think enough to finish Whittaker, but you never know. So I'd have to give this victory to Robert Whittaker by decision, but Vettori's a very good wrestler, and clearly when it comes to Adesanya and Whittaker, those are the 2 best middleweights in the world right now. So I would have to give the edge to Whittaker for that reason also. But again, Whittaker is not the #1 middleweight in the world. Vettori had a hard time wrestling with Adesanya. He might not have as tough of a time wrestling with Whittaker. So if he manages to control the ground game by taking him down majority of the fight, even if he doesn't quite get the best of the stand-up, Vettori can win this fight by decision also. I don't think this will be a knockout or submission situation, even though both guys are clearly capable of that. But this should be a pretty decent fight. It might be a boring fight, but it might be more of a chess match. It might be a strategic fight. For true MMA fans, they'll probably enjoy this fight. For those guys looking for knockouts and back and forth bloody fights, it's probably not going to excite you very much. But I do have I'm going to give Whittaker a 60% chance to win this fight, just because he's coming off a loss. Vettori wants another shot at Adesanya. I think his fight's more personal for him than it is with Whittaker, because of the fact that neither one of his fights were competitive. At least with Whittaker, it was competitive, and maybe one day he could be champion again. That probably bothers Vettori a lot more. So he really needs this win against the the last guy to hold the middleweight title. That would be huge for him. And either guy winning this fight would either give them a title shot against Adesanya or another fight before a title shot. So either way, this is a big fight for both guys. Like I said, this is going to be a smart fight. I think Whittaker is going to outsmart him, but the thing is, Vettori is such a good wrestler. If he manages to take down Whittaker at least 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 times if possible, realistically 2, 3, 4 times tops, he could do that, control the ground game. He can win this fight, so I'll give him a 40% chance to win.